of America and its destruction, they said, would not come from foreign invaders. They believed that it would come from within. It would be destroyed by its own people. We live in some very strange times where people have a lot of interesting ideas, and the left calls it progressive ideas. Is it really progressive? Is it really making progress? Is it really helping people? I don't think so. By the way, we spent about 2 weeks, if you're just joining us here on For the People, raising money for Chuck, and we think we've gotten there. We think we're there. We were waiting on a check to come, and it was supposed to be here today, and could still be here today, but the gentleman put a stop on the check because I didn't receive it on Saturday. Just as a precaution, we don't receive mail on Saturdays here at the business. We get it on Monday afternoon here in Tampa. But he did it because he was going out of town, and he says, we'll get it by Thursday. So, and I believe we'll be there. But we do have these 2 books autographed by Chuck. His book, Will We Ever Learn? Fixing the USA. I'd like you to pick up these books for $75, and I'll ship them out to you. I have to mail out some things, too. I'll mail these right out today. Take advantage right now. First come, first serve, forthepeopleshow.com. You'll be delighted to have the book, and it will be a collector's item for the man who sees tomorrow. It's terrific stuff. Do you hear about this interesting move? When I saw this, it's one of these stories that just kind of popped out on me, and I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding. Trump's going off today on Twitter, but I think rightly so. He says, now that Ken Fraser of Merck Pharma has resigned from President's Manufacturing Council, we have more time to lower rip-off drug prices. President Trump today ripped the pharmaceutical firm Merck after he announced he is resigning for the White House jobs, apparently in protest over the administration's response to the deadly Charlottesville violence. CEO Kenneth Fraser announced his resignation. He resigned today. He says American leaders must honor our fundamental values by clearly rejecting expressions of hatred, bigotry, and group supremacy, which run counter to the American ideal that all people are created equal. There you go. What does that say? That Donald Trump is a white supremacist? No wonder he would fire off quickly. Unbelievable. Now, to his credit, Fraser did not specifically mention Trump's statements about the deadly Charlottesville, Virginia clashes. But he did say that he's taking a stand against intolerance as a matter of personal conscience. And the statement follows bipartisan criticism of the president for not specifically condemning white supremacists on Saturday after a suspect drove a car into a crowd of counter-protesters at a white supremacist rally, killing one. It's just the message, the timing, and what some people already think right now. It's just kind of interesting timing, but so be it. So be it. There were so many times when Barack Obama was in a position to be able to criticize, be critical of certain things, but he took sides, and Freddie went over the Department of Justice, would not call Islamic extremism what it was because he could not utter those very words. So now he was not as firm as he should have and had named every single group instead of had said on both sides. He condemned the attacks on Saturday, but of course it wasn't harsh enough. They didn't write the speech. Now, if it was Obama, folks, if Obama gave that speech, they would have said nothing. They wouldn't have said a single word, but because they're still upset that Donald Trump did not lose the election and that they lost, it does not matter what he says. They are still going to be critical of everything he does. Do you understand me? Everything that he does, they will always find fault with him. They will never give him anything. You don't hear any praise coming from him, from any of them. No, they won't. He could be the harshest on them, and then they would find something else. They would say something like, well, why is it that David Duke, and why is it that so many of them rallied against Donald Trump? Why is it that they do these things? They're going to find fault no matter what this president does. And mark my words, and just today, it's interesting what the news cycle will do. But you will find folks that'll sit there. The news will click on CNN, and you got to do a side-by-side comparison. And then Fox News, depending on what show that you're at, but it'll switch, and then they will find a white supremacist photoshopped in with Donald Trump, because that's what they do. And then, from overseas, because there's a picture that surfaced which shows that there's a white supremacist that's friends with Trump, would have turned out to be bogus, but it was circulating on social media. But luckily that was denounced, but it was given some credence on social media. But over the 24 to 40 hours, there's going to be a different slant on it. And again, accusatory towards the president, folks. Don't lose hope. We're going to get through this, folks, together. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keith Allen, for the people, all the best. May God bless.